Did Nicolas Cage bring us another Nick Cage type of film where he's allowed to go crazy and hoo-ah? Or is Brad gonna be so mad at me? Brad, please forgive me. What's going on, everybody? The BrettMan here from Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you do not have to. I am here solo today. Brad was not able to go see Renfield, so I'm going to talk about Renfield today. Of course, spoiler-free, and my first initial thoughts about this movie. The first thing that honestly just comes to mind is I feel like this movie tries to be too funny and really forces the humor versus like just kind of like naturally flow. And one of my good friends, YouTube friends of Jess from Discount Final Girl, she actually brought up a great point, like kind of like a great comparison of kind of what I'm trying to explain here. I felt like this movie was trying to be too much of What We Do in the Shadows, because What We Do in the Shadows is definitely one of my favorite horror comedies of all time. I think it's absolutely terrific, which that movie was suggested by Chris Snyder for me to watch. So Chris, thank you for that. But yeah, I definitely felt like Renfield was trying to match that level, but I feel like it tried way too hard with the comedy. Yeah, sure, it did have its great comedic moments, which I will get to what I thought were some of those good comedic moments in a minute, but I felt like most of the time where I just thought it was just trying too hard to be funny, and that is definitely a negative for me. But for course of the acting, man, Nicolas Cage is just Nicolas Cage, man, and this time he gets to do it as Dracula. He definitely brings a fun performance into the Dracula character, so I do give him credit for that. But man, I'm going to be honest with you. I give a little bit of the standout here to Nicholas Hoult. I've always been a big fan of his, especially with his performance in Warm Bodies. Definitely, to me, one of my favorite underrated horror comedic movies out there, or even a horror rom-com, you can call it, with Teresa Palmer. I definitely suggest that movie. But Nicholas Hoult in this one, I really liked his character from Renfield, how he kind of like a character development from beginning to end. For this kind of short movie, this is like about an hour and a half movie, so the pacing of this goes by really, I would say, a good pace and all that. So I feel like you will definitely like just rush through this movie at the theater. And Nicholas Hoult, definitely again a standout character, and I did like his character development with the time they had the length of this movie. And I just wanted to point this out real quick because this is just to my amazement. Chris McKay is the director of this movie, and he also directed Robot Chicken Star Wars Episode 3. So I found that really amusing, and that to me explains a lot with the level of the comedy of this movie. But nice segue there for the comedy. For the part I did like with the comedy, it's just poking fun. Kind of funny poking because you poke a vampire. Okay, you're not here for punch, you're here for a rapid review. But man, what I did enjoy comedic wise is making fun of the Dracula lore, just the legend of Dracula. And if you've seen the original Dracula in the 30s, you're definitely going to be pleased with how this movie opens up. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And there was definitely one scene in this movie that really, really made me laugh. Like actually out loud, where I was like, "Oh, okay," like kind of like that level of laughter. But it's just other than that, I just thought the comedic again was just way too forced. So I'm not gonna sit here too much longer. I promise a rapid review. Since it's me, I'm gonna try and make this less than 5 minutes. So overall thoughts. I had a good time with this. I think this movie is going to grow on me later, but just as of right now, Brad, don't kill me, man. Nicolas Cage, I thought was just like okay in this movie. I know he had a good time, so good for him, but I felt like Nicolas Cage could just do something more with a different type of film. But I'm glad he got his chance to play a horror icon in Dracula. The movie is just fun for what it is, but as of right now, if y'all saw my TikTok of my out theater reaction, I definitely have Renfield right now as my most disappointing movie of 2023 so far. So I'm just going to give it just a solid 3 out of 5. So I'm going to ask you guys, what did you all think of Renfield? Do you plan on seeing it? And if you did you enjoy it? Again, this is spoiler free, so please do not spoil it in the comics. But yeah, let me know in that comment section down below so we can always get that discussion rolling. And of course, to hunt for the good reels with us, you can find our socials right in the description down below. And then until then, I'm getting kind of thirsty, man. Kind of thirsty for blood. So I'm going to go ahead and satisfy my first, and I'll see you guys for the next rapid review.